So, as Laura said, I was a student at Columbine. I want to share my story of what happened that day, and also why I support this program and continue to support this program. As Laura said, 19 years ago, I was a sophomore. I was 15 years old, and most of you are familiar with Columbine. Have heard of what happened there that day. I was in the library when we heard gunshots outside the school, and at first we didn't know exactly what was going on. We thought it was a prank or a car wreck, firecrackers. We thought it was anything but a school shooting. And we heard more gunshots, and at that moment we knew something was going on. Something was different. The two murderers that day started to make their way into the school, and they had shot a teacher outside who had run in. She ran into the library and yelled, "Everyone get down, there's kids with guns." And everyone climbed under desks and behind bookshelves, and I was the only one standing in the library behind a pillar, and I had two exits. There was one to the hallway and one to the outside of the school. And I kept looking at both, wondering which way I could run. I felt trapped and helpless. And as I looked out towards one of the doorways, I looked around the pillar and I saw one of the murderers standing there. He lowered his gun, and as he was lowering it, I tried to jump down behind a Xerox machine. And as I was jumping down, he fired, and I got hit in the lower left side of my back. And then he fired two more shots over my head, and it blew the desk and computer, the plastic, the wood, shrapnel back into my face and in my neck. They came into the library and started walking around very casually, leisurely, with no threat at all. They were not scared that they were going to be stopped. They walked around and they would walk up to my classmates, ask them a question, and then murder them execution style. They were in the library for 7.5 minutes. And for those of you that recall, the library is where the majority of the death and wounded came from. That was where the majority of it happened. They were in the library for 7.5 minutes. And at one point they even said, "Let's start knifing people." They shot out the window. Then after a while they came back around to where I was at. I crawled under a librarian's desk into the foothole and pulled a chair out to cover myself. One of them saw me under there and he pulled the chair out and he kneeled down and he put a gun to my head and he said, "Why shouldn't we kill you?" And I told him, "Look, I've been good to you and everyone in this school and you know it." And his facial expression changed and he lowered his gun and he turned to the other one and he said, "You can kill him if you want." And they said a few things back and forth to each other and decided to leave the library and go down to the Commons, which is our cafeteria area, and they left. And at that moment, that's when those of us that were still alive who could get out, got out. We ran out the back door. That day changed my life in many ways. There were classmates who were murdered, friends who were gone, and it's a day that I'll always remember. And that's a main driving force of why I support this program.